Greetings, listener. Settle in, breathe softly, and let the world grow quiet around you. Tonight, I want to tell you a gentle, dreamlike retelling of a few chapters in the story of a boy named Eren Yeager. Back when everything he knew still fit inside the walls of Shiganshina. Tonight, we return to the beginning, to a peaceful morning that felt like it would last forever. The sun rises slowly over the rooftops, casting warm light across the stone streets. Birds flutter between chimneys, and the gentle hum of daily life fills the air like a soft lullaby. Shiganshina is calm, safe, wrapped in the embrace of towering walls that stretch toward the sky. And in the middle of this quiet district, a young boy walks alone, his eyes fixed on the horizon. Eren Yeager. His steps are small, but his thoughts are impossibly large. He looks at the walls, not with comfort, but with a strange, restless ache. To him, they are not protection, they are a cage. He pauses near the river, watching the water ripple as sunlight dances across its surface. The world feels peaceful, but inside him something stirs. A longing, a question, a quiet spark that has not yet found its flame. Far behind him, soft footsteps approach. Mikasa Ackerman, calm and steady, finds Eren exactly where she expected him to be. She tilts her head, studying him with quiet concern. "You're up early," her expression seems to say, even though she doesn't speak. Eren shrugs, eyes still on the horizon. He doesn't tell her about the dreams he's been having. Dreams of distant lands, of freedom, of something calling to him far beyond the walls. He doesn't have the words yet. Mikasa steps closer and gently straightens the scarf around her neck. A small, familiar gesture that always seems to calm him. Together, they walk back toward the village, the morning light warming their faces. At home, the smell of breakfast fills the air. Carla Yeager moves gracefully around the kitchen, her presence warm and comforting. She greets Eren with a smile that softens the edges of the world. He sits at the table, Mikasa behind him, and for a moment everything feels simple, safe. Carla brushes a hand through Eren's hair, scolding him gently for wandering off again. but her voice is soft, full of love. Eren grumbles, but he leans into her touch without realizing it. These are the moments that shape a childhood. Quiet, ordinary, and irreplaceable. Later that day, Eren and Mikasa find Armin alert, sitting near the edge of the district, a book resting in his lap. Armin's eyes shine with the kind of wonder that mirrors Eren's own. He shows them the pages, drawings of deserts, mountains, and oceans so vast they seem impossible. Eren's heart beats faster. The world is bigger than anyone here believes. Bigger than the walls, bigger than fear. Armin speaks softly, as if sharing a secret with the wind. There is so much out there, and we're stuck inside. Eren feels something ignite inside him, a spark of truth that he has always sensed but never understood. Mikasa listens quietly, her expression unreadable, but her presence steady. The three of them sit together, the book open between them, as the afternoon sun warms their backs, and for a moment the world feels full of possibility. A distant horn echoes through the streets of Shiganshina. People gather, whispering with excitement and fear. The scout regiment is returning from an expedition. Eren pushes through the crowd, heart pounding, eyes wide with admiration. The scouts ride through the gate, their cloaks tattered, their faces weary. They have seen the world beyond the walls. They have touched the unknown. To Eren, they are heroes. To the adults around him, they are reminders of danger and loss. But Eren doesn't see the fear. He sees freedom. He sees purpose. He sees a path that leads beyond the walls into the sky. As the day stretches on, a strange stillness settles over Shiganshina. The wind grows colder, heavier, carrying with it a tension that makes Eren pause. He stands on a familiar street, Mikasa and Armin beside him, and looks up at the towering wall. Something feels wrong, as if the world is holding its breath. A low rumble shakes the ground beneath their feet. People stop, turn, listen. The sky darkens as a shadow falls across the district, and then a sound like thunder splits the air. Eren's eyes widen. Mikasa grabs his arm. Armin stumbles back. Above the wall, a massive hand clamps onto the stone. Finger the size of trees, skin steaming, heat radiating like fire. And then a face rises into view. A face without skin, a face of exposed muscle and burning eyes. The colossal Titan. Its roar shakes the sky, echoing through every street, every home, every heart. The world Eren knew shatters in an instant. The Titan pulls back its leg, muscles tightening, steam rising in waves. Eren can't move, he can't breathe. Time slows as the Titan kicks the gate with unimaginable force. Stones explode, wind screams, the ground trembles, the walls, the unbreakable walls, crumble, and with them the illusion of safety. A storm of dust and debris sweeps through Shiganshina, and the world is swallowed by chaos. Eren's heart pounds as he stares at the destruction, his childhood slipping away like sand through his fingers. The peaceful morning is gone. The quiet life is gone. Everything is changing, and nothing will ever be the same. Dust hangs in the air like drifting snow. The ground trembles with distant echoes, and the once peaceful streets of Shiganshina are filled with confusion, fear, and the sound of hurried footsteps. Eren Yeager, still just a child, stands frozen in the chaos, his heart pounding as the world he knew crumbles around him. Mikasa is beside him, her hand gripping his tightly, steady and warm, even as everything falls apart. People rush past them, calling for loved ones, searching for safety, trying to understand what has just happened. The great gate of Shiganshina lies shattered, and through the broken opening, a wave of destruction begins to spill inward. But in the middle of all this noise, Eren hears only one thing: his mother's voice. Eren and Mikasa run through the dust-filled streets, their small feet pounding on the ground as they race toward home. When they reach their house, their hearts drop. The roof has collapsed, the walls are broken, and beneath the fallen beams they find their mother, pinned and unable to move. Her face is gentle, even in pain. Her voice soft, even in fear. She tells them to run, to live, to survive. Eren shakes his head, tears streaming down his cheeks. He pulls at the debris with trembling hands, desperate to free her. Mikasa tries too, her breath quick and shaky. But the wood is too heavy, the damage too great. Kala smiles at them with tenderness. fills the entire moment with warmth and heartbreak. She brushes Eren's cheek with her fingertips, as if memorizing his face, and then a shadow falls over them. A titan approaches, its footsteps shaking the earth. Carla's voice breaks, but her love does not. She begs them to go, to live, to keep moving forward. And just when all hope seems lost, a figure appears through dust. Hannes, a soldier of the garrison, arrives on horseback, breathless and determined. He sees the Titan, he sees Carla, he sees the children. For a moment, he grips his blade, ready to fight. But fear overtakes him, not cowardice, but a deep human fear of facing something impossible. He drops the blade. He chooses life. He lifts Eren and Mikasa onto the horse, his arms strong and trembling. Eren screams, begging him to save his mother, begging him not to run. But Hannes knows he cannot win this fight. He turns the horse around and rides away, carrying the children towards safety. Behind them, the Titan reaches down. Carla's final smile is as soft and full of love, and the world changes forever. The survivors of Shiganshina gather near the river, their faces pale, their voices hushed. Soldiers guide them onto evacuation boats, trying to keep order in the midst of fear. Eren sits amongst the crowd, his small hands clenched, his eyes unfocused. Mikasa sits beside him, silent and steady, her presence a quiet anchor in the storm of grief. Armin finds them, his face streaked with tears, but his voice gentle as he sits close. The three children huddle together as the boat begins to move, carry them away from the only home they have ever known. Eren watches the burning rooftops fade into the distance. He watches the smoke rise into the sky he once dreamed of. And in the quiet of that moment, a seed of something new takes root inside him. Not anger, not hatred, but a promise born from loss, from love, and from the memory of a mother's final embrace. When the boats reach safety, the survivors gather in a makeshift camp. The night is cold, the air is heavy, but the stars shine above them with a soft, distant glow. Eren sits alone for a moment, knees pulled to his chest, eyes fixed on the ground. He feels small, he feels powerless, he feels like a child who has lost everything. But then Mikasa sits beside him, wrapping her scarf around both of them. Armin joins them too, leaning gently against Eren's shoulder. And in that quiet, surrounded by the warmth of the only family he has left, Eren makes a silent vow. A vow to grow stronger. A vow to protect. A vow to never run again. The night is dark, but the promise inside him glows softly, like a lantern in the distance. The sun rises slowly over the refugee camp near Wall Rose. Its light is pale, gentle, as if afraid to disturb the quiet sorrow settling over the survivors. Families huddle together, wrapped in blankets, their faces tired and streaked with dust. Eren, Mikasa, and Armin sit among them, 3 small figures in a world that suddenly feels enormous. Eren's eyes are distant, unfocused, as if he is still seeing the burning rooftops of Shiganshina in his mind. Mikasa sits close beside him, her scarf wrapped around her neck, her presence steady like a warm hand on his back. Armin sits on Eren's other side, quiet and thoughtful, his small hands folded in his lap. The 3 of them say nothing, but their silence is full of shared understanding. Later that day, the refugees gather in a long, slow-moving line for food. The rations are small, barely enough for a child, let alone a family. Eren watches as soldiers distribute bread with tired expressions. He sees the strain in their movements. He hears the murmurs of hungry families. The world feels harsh, unfair, unforgiving. When Eren finally receives his portion, he stares at a small piece of bread in his hands. It feels like a symbol of everything they've lost. But Mikasa gently nudges him, reminding him to eat. Armin offers a small, hopeful smile, and slowly Eren takes a bite. The bread is dry, but warm, and in that warmth there is a tiny spark of comfort. As the day stretches on, a familiar sound echoes through the camp. The scout regiment returns from another expedition. Their horses are weary, their cloaks are torn, their faces are lined with exhaustion and grief. But they ride with dignity, with purpose, with a quiet, unwavering resolve. Eren watches them with wide, intense eyes. He sees their courage, their sacrifice, their willingness to face the unknown. And something inside him begins to shift. Not anger, not hatred, but the longing to stand tall in a world that has taken so much. A longing to protect the people he loves. A longing to never feel powerless again. evening, as the sun dips below the horizon, Eren sits alone on a small wooden step. The sky above him glows with soft shades of orange and pink. He thinks of his mother, her smile, her warmth, her final words. He thinks of the scouts and the bravery they carry, like a lantern in the dark. He thinks of the walls and the world beyond them. And slowly, a quiet resolve begins to form inside him. A promise, he whispers to himself in the fading light. I won't run away. I'll grow stronger. I'll fight for the people I love. His voice is soft but steady. Mikasa approaches, sitting beside him without a word. Armin joins them too, leaning gently against Eren's shoulder. The three children sit together as the last light of day fades into night. And in that moment, Eren's small spark of resolve grows a little brighter, a dim light amid despair, a beginning hidden inside an ending.